In my last video, I compared a bunch of music distributors and you guys had lots of thoughts about everything that I said. If you haven't checked that video out yet, I'll leave it in the end screen, but one commenter said, I read bad reviews about all of these distributors, and that's a really fair thought. The rule of life is that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Happy customers are silent, and angry customers are loud and they go public. And in this imperfect world with imperfect people, things will go wrong sometimes. So what I would do is assess how caring and responsive a company is when things go wrong, because it is inevitable, and that's how you'll know if that distributor has your back or not. Is it still worth it to release on Spotify at all? It's a really great question, especially since you don't earn much from Spotify. But royalties aside, here's why I still think it's worth it to get your music on Spotify and to use Spotify for what it is. And I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a great source of revenue. Instead, Spotify is a great discovery algorithm because Spotify takes all your listener data and has a recommendation engine that shows your music to brand new people. And that's incredible. Just like how you can trigger the algorithm on Instagram and TikTok and get brand new people to see your posts, the same thing can happen on Spotify with the Spotify algorithm. Some of those algorithms are called Discover Weekly, and right now I have a client who's literally triggering this algorithm every week and getting thousands of streams for free. Another algorithm is called Release Radar. This notifies people when your new songs come out. Another is the radio algorithm, and I've triggered this for my own music, giving me an extra 100,000 streams on my 3 songs. So yeah, Spotify is great for what it is, and I know there are going to be people in the comments saying, but Spotify's stealing our money, stealing our royalties. But here's the thing, no one is forcing you to put your music on Spotify, and no one is saying that Spotify needs to be the only way you make money. So even if you're smart and you decide to monetize through higher leverage strategies such as touring or starting a Patreon or brand partnerships or merchandising, you can still benefit from the discovery engine that Spotify gives to every single artist, using the data from your listeners and recommending your songs to brand new people who are most likely to love your songs. That's an incredible perk. Oh, and you still get royalties even when the Spotify algorithm pushes your song. So it's a win-win. You get money and you get visibility. Next question, is it better to pay a one-time fee or a subscription model for music distribution? This is a great question, and the key here is to look for the break-even point. I actually did a video recently showing the cost analysis between CD Baby's pricing and Distrokid's pricing model. CD Baby's pricing model is a one-time fee with a back-end royalty share. And Distrokid's pricing model is a subscription with add-on charges. And so as you can imagine, the economics of this changes depending on how many streams you get, how popular you are, how large your catalog is, and how often you are releasing. And also, I know at least one person is going to comment this, you don't have to purchase the Distrokid extras, but all those Distrokid extras are included for free with CD Baby, and I cover all of this in the video, and a lot of people got angry because they're like, you don't have to pay for the extras, but fine, if you don't want to, if you want to get less by paying for less, that's totally fine, but when you're doing an apples to apples comparison, you want to make sure that the feature set is the same. So check out that video, I'll link it in the description so you can learn how to find your break-even point and learn if a subscription model or a back-end royalty split model is best for you with your plans and your release schedule as an artist. Next, I got a lot of comments asking me to do dedicated reviews on Lander distribution and symphonic distribution, and SoundCloud got brought up, and totally, I will do that. I got lots of requests for reviews, and these are near the top of my list to do. In fact, take a second now, drop in the comments what distributor you'd like to see a full-length review on. We'll almost make it a vote so I know who to focus on first. This next comment from Creekside says, they are all scams. But seriously, a quick note on this. If you don't like the idea of using a distributor to get your music onto Amazon Music or Apple Music or Spotify, then there is an option to just release your music exclusively through your website, where you control the platform. You would get paid no royalties, and you would have to monetize in other ways, either through physical sales or through a merch store, which would be a huge challenge if you don't have a capital captive mailing list of ready buyers. There's also the fact that the industry has already changed and left CDs behind. Streaming is now the #1 way to consume music, and most cars don't have CD players. Most people don't have a way to play CDs or vinyls. Not to mention there's also the upfront cost of manufacturing CDs and vinyls, and you have to purchase them in 100 units at a time at places like disc makers. So when it comes to music distribution being less than ideal, in reality, it's actually an easier option compared to doing it all yourself and monetizing in the old ways. I'm actually not sure why I included the comment in this video. I think it's just because I laughed when I read it. But seriously, a quick note on this. I feel like this channel is a great place where all opinions and all ideas are welcome, and I really love enjoying your comments and hearing about your experiences. It helps me to keep an ear to the ground so I can know what's happening on other platforms, because I'm just one guy and I don't have music on every platform that exists out there. Next, from Retro the Pharaoh, which is a legit username, he says, Distrokid banned me for no reason. And the same thing actually happened to me a few years ago now. I got removed from their platform for no reason. I was just releasing my own music. They took it down, they banned me from Distrokid. I made a full video about it on the channel. I'll link that in the description as well so you can get caught up on that and learn what I did to recover my music. Next comment's kind of related. Who can help me re-release an album on a different distributor? Well, first, you'll need to find a distributor that allows you to bring your own ISRCs. When I was banned from Distrokid, I had to move my catalog to AWOL, and AWOL allows me to paste my original ISRCs in the distribution process. In case you don't know, an ISRC is a code that's assigned to your recording. It's a unique code, only one per recording. And so when you're checking out a distributor, you'll want to make sure that this feature for bringing your own ISRCs, right here in Lander, it says use your own ISRC. You do want that so you can bring your original ISRCs, which will be in your first distributor, and you can paste them in the second distributor when you're redistributing your songs. This will ensure that you're not releasing a duplicate of your song and it won't appear twice on Spotify. And also, your stream counts and playlists are going to carry over even with the new distributor. So you definitely want that to happen. You will want to keep both distribution services live for a few days with some overlap, maybe for around a week, and then you can cancel the original distribution and move forward with your new distribution company. I actually have a full-length video about this that I'll link in the description below. And real quick, let me know if you have any questions about music distribution that were not covered in this video. Comment those below. And if you're still looking for a new distributor for your music, check out this video right here where I compare the top 5 music distributors and their feature set head to head.